1:30 p.m. Wednesday, December 5th. Hashtag Evil Genius. Album of 2018 with the trophy emoji was established.
Yes. Listen, I seen. There's a lot of like charts coming out, and my album hasn't even came out yet. So.
Yeah, because you're late, man. But you're right on time.
I'm not late.
You're right on time.
Classic.
Right on time.
Exactly.
It's been one of the best years for rap music ever. I think as a fan, you think about how many people have shown up. I'm so glad you made it through the door before the end of the year. It wouldn't have been the same without Evil Genius this year.
Exactly, man. It's like so much money out here in the rap game right now, man. It's a great time.
What are some of your favorite releases this year? Some of the people who you think really stepped up?
Lil Baby, Gunna,
Travis. Unreal.
Meek.
Oof. What's your favorite cut on the Meek record? Do you have one yet?
I like the song with him and Lil Baby.
Yep.
That's hard in the intro.
Yep. Going Bad with Drake. Love that one. That's amazing. We're not here to talk about everybody else.
Exactly.
We're here to talk about Gucci Mane and this album, which is called Evil Genius. You know, I think about so many amazing Gucci's that we've had, from LaFleur, Guap,
Yeah.
East Atlanta Santa,
I got a lot of aliases.
Mr. Davis,
Exactly.
El Gato,
El Gato.
The Machine,
The Machine.
Mr. Zone 6,
Mr. Zone 6.
Trap God,
Man.
Gucci Mane, and now the Evil Genius.
Oh, man, the Evil Genius is like, this is where we're at now. We did all that to get here. I feel like the Evil Genius is like, it's crazy. Like, imagine just being, a hustler. Then you start like, okay, I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to make money. Like, it's like my end game. I did all that to get here.
Wow.
The Evil Genius.
So it's the end of the beginning?
Not the end of the beginning, but just like different level.
The cover really intrigued me because there's two sides to you. There's the Gucci that we've seen in recent years come out, smile fully accounted for, feeling comfortable in your own skin, and then there's a deeper Gucci, which is kind of at the forefront of this dual image, And I wonder if what the relationship is to this album, that album cover, because it's like there's two sides to you.
I was just thinking about that when I was going through like the title. The title's on the track list, and I was like, I got a song called Bipolar. I got a song called Lord. I got a song called On God. I got a song called By Myself. Then I look at the cover. So it's like no coincidence that the cover kind of reflect some of the song titles.
And thematically, you're having more conversations with yourself on this album than perhaps with the audience or with other artists or with other things?
I think this time, this album is like the first time I kind of like had more fun making the records, like with the intentions of, just went in there in the studio and just had fun, and this is what came out. But before, I was kind of like going and expressing myself, talking through the mic, like me, everybody looking at Waptober had a lot on my chest. This album, it was like, it's find the best beat, make the best song, put it out.
Is that why it took a minute to come out? And by the way, by a minute, I mean still faster than almost any other artist, but it's been a quiet 2018 for you in comparison to previous years.
It's my first album of the year.
That's right.
It's my only album of the year.
Yeah.
And I did that on purpose. I was like, I just want to take my time and chill. I really wanted to just, I didn't want to just be in the studio with a deadline. Like I got to make an album, it got to come out this time.
But I can't imagine anyone really, because you've been running your own business, 1017, the whole thing now for a long time. You run the deadline.
I always run the deadline, but it's always like, I always want to be productive, and I feel like I'm productive when I'm prolific. Like, man, I can do 4 albums. It's easy. So it's like I'm going to try a different strategy. I'm going to try to get with my producers and make the best songs with them. I still was recording a lot of music, but it was like, when I put it out, I want to make the best song, put out the best songs I did with Metro and the best songs I did with Southside, the best songs I did with, Spiffy Global or DY Crazy. I want it just to be classic. I want people like, damn, Gucci, this album right here is something special about it.
Especially after 12 albums and 70 plus mixtapes.
Exactly, you got to make it different, man.
If you're going to continue to make music, then you have to be striving to make that ultimate record every time.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're chipping away at the legacy that you've worked so hard at.
Oh, you got to just be creative and have fun. Like, with this album, I tried to, I worked with so many different people I never recorded on the album. Like, I never did a song with, I never had Bruno on my album. I never had Kevin Gates on my album.
And a young guest list as well. Take a look at the artists involved,
NBA
man.
young boy.
It's like the last 2 years of rap.
Exactly. So it's exciting. It's like you get to hear me with all these artists that I think dope. You know what I'm saying? It's like the first time you collaborating with, a lot of dope artists for the first time. And I feel like that's historic in itself.
Well, I wonder whether or not you feel to some degree putting a guest list like that, and I'm talking about, it's already out there, but the kind of people who are involved in this record, you talked about Kodak, Skies, Boat, YBNBA, 21 Savage and such. whether or not you sort of are comfortable and feel good about being somewhat of a statesman in this game now, having been around for longer than these kids, and that's a nice position for you to be in.
I'm just proud. I'm still around and still making music, and people still want to hear it. People still want to see me perform. You know, it's just, man, to do something like this and get paid for it, all this money, you know, and the kids want to work with you. It's a great job. You got to be grateful for it. It's not hard. It's an easy thing to do.
I mean, everybody's on the album because they impressed you, or they wouldn't have made the cut.
I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
Like, even Skies, like, you know, I thought Skies was dope. Let's try, you know, let's make some songs.
Who really blew you away, though?
I always wanted to do a song with, like, Bruno. So the song we did with Bruno came out, like, dope. So, you know, and then when I did the video, he directed the whole video.
He's so ridiculously
talented. So to be honest, it's like, that blew me away, that surprised me, was like, you know, you never see nobody create the song, then come and do the video, the artist.
The biggest trick Bruno's played on everybody is that he's just an entertainer or just a musician, or he's a complete all-rounder.
The man direct the video, man, like, seriously. Not just pointing the fingers, like, seriously, this how I go, you know.
Have you directed any of your videos? I can't remember.
I do a lot of pointing fingers, but I'm not the director.
Would you?
I'm the executive producer.
Aha, you're 30,000 feet in the air.
I just like put the money behind it.
So you took your time, 2018, the one and only Gucci Mane album right here, unless you have a surprise for us at Christmas, but I'd imagine you want to let this one breathe.
Yeah, I'm going to let this is a classic.
You do traditionally give us something at Christmas, though, I should point that out.
I usually do, but this year I think I just want the Evil Genius to ride out.
It's time for East Atlanta Santa to put his feet up for a year.
Kick back, man. Life's good.
Life is good. You got married. Any coincidence? You took your time making this album, fresh into new marriage?
Not exactly, because as soon as I got married and dropped my album, Mr. Davis, 2 months later I dropped Delgado. So I didn't even waste no time. But then I took, you know, this time to make this album, so I can't even say that.
How is marriage?
Marriage is great. Life is good, man. Business is booming.
What is the fundamental guiding principle upon which your wife leads you now you're married? What are you learning from that experience? What's amazing about her?
I feel like, you know, she's just an amazing woman, just inside and out. But like, I feel like she's special because she's a great businesswoman. It's like I learned a lot from her. She just got this disposition and temperament that if you be around her, it's just kind of contagious. And I feel like it affected me a lot for the better.
Does she make you calmer?
She's definitely calm and just rational and, you know, strategic. So we kind of gel good together.
Kids soon at some point?
No.
Not in any hurry?
Just make the money.
17 songs on Evil Genius just for
17
starters.
plus one.
Plus one.
I got a bonus track because I put the song with Pump on there, Kept Back.
How many songs didn't make it that you recorded this year? Estimate.
Honestly, I wanted to do a double disc.
I don't even know what a double album is in the streaming age. Can't you just put 35 songs out on a playlist?
I wanted to do Evil Genius and I wanted to do a whole nother CD of songs.
Right.
Not these 18 songs,
and you say CD in relation to it being kind of a different creative experience.
I said CD, ain't no CDs really no more. Damn.
Oh no, I
double
love it.
disc. What you mean a double disc?
I don't know.
God,
what you talking about is a different title and different artwork. That's all you.
But you know, a couple people on my I still be want to like print up physical copies.
Sure.
Cause I still got fans in like places in the South
100%
that love physical copies, and I still be like want to burn CDs and play it in my car. You know, even though like some of my cars don't have a CD player. But the cars that do, man, I want to burn a CD straight from the studio and play it in the car. It's much easier, man, than riding on your phone and just hitting the CD. And every time you ride, you listen to something and the phone come on. You know, it's aggravating, man.
I mean, I'm of an age, I understand exactly where you're coming from. But what's really going through my mind is how many cars do you have to own where some have a CD player and some don't?
It's up there. I got more cars than the days of the week.
How do you even pick what car to drive? I always wondered that. Like, I have one car and I like that car, and then I think, like, would I want another car? And the answer is yes, but I wouldn't know how to pick between the two. When you have 20...
Any minute, money more.
Eeny, meeny, miny, Maserati.
I'm telling you, any minute, money Ferrari.
Migos on multiples. Once again, what a great relationship you guys have creatively. I'm sure that's a byproduct of your friendship. You can't have that chemistry without it.
Love the Migos.
Yeah, man. I mean, unbelievable, right? One of the greatest groups of all time in the world of music.
100%.
Period on every level. Tell us a
100%.
funny story or a story that we don't know about the Migos and you.
I'm trying to think. There's so much stuff used to go on. I don't even know what's acceptable I could say for real. I'm kind of scared to talk about them because they was hell when I first got them, man. It was so bad. I remember one time we was going to Magic City though, and I first got them, and I remember Quavo used to always rap this song, top off the Audi, chop the top off the Audi. He had an Audi, a drop top. In some kind of way, we had a little skirmish or something happen, and Quavo crashed the car. In the line of everybody going and trying to get away or whatever we had.
Right in front of the club.
Now, right in front of the brick factory.
Right.
And he bumped his car, and I remember that he was just like crushed, like, damn. But look what he's doing now.
I wonder if he still has that drop top Audi.
I doubt it.
Not even in the Migos Museum?
He should. That would be a classic. He definitely should keep that.
With
a
dent in it?
Classic.
And
I'm telling you.
And the multi-change CD player?
That was his start. That was his start. I started with a Magnum. He started with an Audi.
Started with a German whip.
Yeah. He's doing good.
Little Boat, Yachty, and Migos, and you, Glacier Boys. This has been talked about and mooted, and now Yachty said it's not up to scratch.
I think with the Glacier Boys, we just want to make the music doper. And at the same time, I think we should encompass all the dope people that be around. We should involve Pablo. We should involve Baby, Marlo. We got so many just dope artists, Marl and Quill. I feel like it's a family thing.
Mm-hmm. And that takes time and schedule.
Now, it's going to get done. It don't take us long to record. We've been in the studio, but it's just like, look for it early in the spring. It's coming.
Yachty's really impressing, I think, right now. He's
That's
really
a good
impressing.
dude, man. He's
coming out the other side of what has been a pretty sort of, he's been scrutinized for his ability and how fast it happened, da-da-da. And he's coming out and he's showing real urgency and he's showing a stubbornness in his craft and he's making great records.
He's a star. He's a star and he's getting better. And he want to get better. And he's working on it.
The fact he's came out and he said he didn't think that it was ready because the music wasn't up to the level you guys thought it should be, or it wasn't just quite in the shape you wanted it to be. I just thought that took honesty as good.
And then the thing about it is like when he said that, it was honest. Because then he hit me like, let's get back in the studio and let's make more music. So everybody ready to work.
Everyone's ready to work.
It's just like everybody got projects. The Migos had all their projects. Boat had dropped the project. Lil Baby had dropped his project. I'm working on my album.
Yeah.
We'll come back together.
Evil Genius is the album. You already know. That's why Gucci Mane is in the studio. We're meeting for the first time after multiple FaceTime video exchanges.
I feel like we know each other.
It's been nice, man. I have to say.
Seriously.
No, it's been really good. I always enjoy it, And we met in New York as well, up at the label office, and we kicked it for 3 minutes. Hatched a plan to go to Hawaii. Didn't quite work out, but you came out here to LA. We appreciate it.
That would have been dope. That would have been dope if I could have came to Hawaii.
Well, let's do that next time.
I would love to.
Let's climb a mountain.
I'm with it. I always wanted to do that.
Yeah, well, that's why we talked about it, right? I think we just kicked around the idea of, I think we were just trying to hustle an interview into something that we just wanted to do.
I would love to do that.
We should do more of that. We should just pretend that we're working so we can go and do things that we don't have to do. Wait a minute, that's your life.
Exactly, but listen, y'all got the budget around here. All this money. Nice, pretty building.
It's a nice studio, huh?
Exactly.
This is a nice studio.
Man.
But you said there's a lot of money in rap right now.
Huge. I'm telling you, dump truck right now.
You've been talking about money for a long time. If anyone has been manifesting destiny for better or for worse in your music, it's you.
Yes.
You've told stories ahead of time and things tend to happen once you put them out there.
Hey, Zane, where they get you from? Well, you know something. You just called out, that is true. I didn't know you, a lot of people not aware of that, but I've been doing it for so long.
How do you think that rap music has become the fastest selling, most successful genre of music in the time that it has and galvanized the world the way it does is because young artists come out and they manifest their success ahead of time and the success comes to them?
I think that, and I feel like the most interesting people, make the most interesting music.
When I look back over your albums and your mixtapes, I feel like you are, whether you mean to or not, creating a character or some kind of vessel to help you to express yourself and tell your truth.
100%.
And I wonder what circumstances when you were a kid led you to this idea. Some people would create comic books. Some people would go and become an actor. You decided to put it into music, but you sort of brought both of those things into music. Comic book characters, and you acted out to tell the truth.
It's really like I was just trying to find a niche to, make a living, At first, I thought I was going to be hustling. And once I kind of had a brush with the law, and I seen that the consequences were severe, and, I probably 2021, it was like, I'm going to be a rapper. So coming up with the characters and all that was like, I always approached it like a business, like, I'm finna try to, as if he was making a jingle, like, I'm trying to make a song and sell it, and I'm funding it myself.
Press the buttons. How am I going to press the right buttons to get people's attention and draw them in?
With the resources I got, Like, I'm gonna try to make a song about the police, not make a song about the police. Then I'm like, I'm gonna make a song about my neighborhood. And those first 10, 12 recordings, I just hustled them. So in my mind, it was like a body of work. It went like, go learn the rap. It was like, time to try to sell a CD, but you're not a rapper. So just think about if you were like, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna make a CD, but you buying all the beats. So you really don't got no error. So that's why that was my approach, and I like stayed that same way through my whole career.
You have to have such a strong imagination to have come up with so many really compelling Gucci's. I was talking to TM88 before. I was saying, who's your favorite Gucci, And we were going through the list. And, it's because every single one of them has their role and each album really categorized it. How important, even before 2021, let's even go back to 6, 7, 8 years old, how important was imagination to you?
Imagination's been important, but I don't think I really expressed my imagination until I started rapping. So, and I used to think about that all the time. Like Zay, he used to make the beats, and he learned how to make it in the church. So I felt like he draw from me like spiritual in the church. I always say his hands was blessed when he played the keys. And then there'd be other people who make beats like they'll be musicians, like Drummer Boy. And they'd be like classically trained or went to school. And then I have other friends, they'll make beats, and they was in the band. But when it's time for me to come in the studio, I really don't know nothing, no interest. Everybody kind of got like a talent but me. I felt like for music. So I would draw my stuff just from what I seen in the streets. I felt like that was my advantage. Even though we might come from the same side of town, I was seeing something different. I wasn't at the band. I was in the trap. So it provided me with endless stories. Jankies, hustlers, prostitutes, robbers, the usuals, my partners, my brothers friends, my daddy friends, it was just the truth. So I never could run out. That's why I was so prolific.
How much did moving about a little bit kind of impact you, do you think, going from one place to the next and kind of watching your family kind of have to be nimble and have to adapt?
I think it made me to a better person.
In what ways?
It made me crafty. It made me kind of like street smart. Like that doubt. When to just listen, when to show, you got to learn. When you're a new person, a new student, you got to fit in.
You were a good student too, right? You got good grades. It was pretty easy for you.
Easy. My mother was a teacher.
Huh. And so she would apply that same level of knowledge and learning at home outside of school hours?
You didn't get no respect for being stupid in my house.
Huh.
You got respect for like being smart. Like, okay, that was smart. Just doing some bonehead stuff, it was like, so everybody was kind of treated like they was grown.
So were you kind of living two lives to some degree? Because when you're out with your friends, right, they're not sitting there going, great grades on Monday, bro. They're out there.
It wasn't like that, like, I guess, all the grades, everything was like about, I guess respect or attention. When you're young, you do grades for the attention of your parents. And then, you get to a point where you get your grades because they might get you a couple of dollars. But then get to a point where a couple of dollars ain't enough. So now you ain't really thinking about the grades anymore, you're thinking about the dollars. And that's how it kind of went.
And that was the transfer from when you sort of, the schooling went one way and you went the other.
Yeah. School clothes, permit driver license, girls, all that shaped my choices. Like, got to get a car. About to go from go to the junior high. You want to be fresh. You want to have money in your pocket.
Those first years of rap music, when you think back to who you were from Trap House on, 2005 on, when you were like, okay, I'm a rapper now. You know what I mean? I'm going to create these words. I'm going to put it out. Did it feel legitimate to you while you were learning? Did you feel like you were a rapper, or did it take you a while to feel like you actually could stand next to the people that you admired in that particular art form?
It was so much going on. It was like, you rap, you beefing, you dodging court, you hustling. I really could, I knew I could rap. I knew I was being successful, but I wasn't enjoying it.
When did you start enjoying it?
When I just got out.
And that's when the money really comes in from the game, right? Because you start enjoying it to some degree. I mean, you get it, but it, like you say, it comes with stress levels.
You're right. Up until that point, I think I thought I was doing something, but I wasn't really doing it. I was doing good, but I didn't even know, like, what good was. That was just like a minute to what I'm doing now.
You said when you came out, you were a changed man and that you were able to kind of face down your demons and leave them behind. How did you do that? I mean, it's one thing to be left in a situation where you have your thoughts, you have time to reflect, but to put that into process is a whole other thing. And it did feel like when you came out of prison, the way that you approached your music and approached the people that were there to help you, and the whole thing just seemed to have shifted. With the benefit of hindsight now, how did you actually do that?
I was on probation for one. That right there was just, you don't have a lot of options. So it's almost like, just you got to get through this to get to that. So in my mind, I'm doing what I got to do to get my freedom back. So that's all there was. It was just a stage. Just focus.
Who helped you get to that point though? Because focus is something that I think everybody wants to try and focus.
To be honest, a lot of people. My wife helped me. I had friends that helped me, family that helped me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a support system that helps a lot, honestly.
Do you think you got to a point, you put a song out recently called Bipolar, and do you think that you got to a point you were able to acknowledge that there was some wiring? Like, I mean, I'll speak from experience, right? Like I suffer from anxiety and I have OCD and I have all sorts of things I have to learn to deal with on a daily basis to be a good dad and a good husband and a good human being, right? When did you sort of come to the conclusion, if you have in fact come to the conclusion that you yourself are battling your own things on a mental health level?
I never really came to that conclusion. I just hear people say, I'm crazy or I'm bipolar. I know that I have done crazy things. But to me, I'm a genius. But at the same time, I acknowledge that I have I have been prone to do things that was just wild and crazy.
So you haven't actually been to see anybody and there's no like diagnosis of bipolar, it's just something you've heard said and so it applies itself to the song.
It's like, man, you got to be crazy, basically. Why would he do that? And looking back at it, there was crazy things. I wasn't in my same mind when I did a lot of things, so.
Because of the drugs?
Definitely.
Yeah. Which you talked about on After the Fact with Travis Scott, amongst other times. And you've mentioned, before, like the relationship with drugs and, it's something that remains to this day. This is an epidemic, and not just in the music community, all over the world. I mean, it's like it's
never going to go nowhere.
Mm.
It's going to always be like that.
Mm. Mm.
Drugs going to always be a part of society. It's going to always be people fighting. It's going to always be death. It's just, just what it is. It's always going to be a part of music. Just think about all the rock and roll stars before these hip-hop stars.
Do you think that if you kept going the way you were going, 2012, 13, 14, that it would have ended badly for you? Yeah. Worse, I should say.
I think I would have been dead. Probably. It's a possibility. Yeah.
So do you think to some degree going away saved you in some respects, do you think?
In hindsight, yeah. I wouldn't want to do it like that again, but, I don't know, drugs could have killed me, so you don't know the future. I don't know if that, but at the same time, the jail was so hard. So I don't know. It's interesting.
What, when you think back, and I don't want to take you back to that place, but what are the prevailing things, before we move on, what are the prevailing things from that 2-year stretch that you did that you want to remember so they keep you focused and they keep you clear?
Just to know that if you commit a crime, you commit a serious enough crime, you'll be back there. It just, I never forgot that. I still know that. I still move like that.
Never again.
Never again. I can't go back.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
We see young artists who are in a situation in their lives where perhaps that sense of wisdom and that sense of experience and that maturity isn't necessarily a tool that is at their disposal. It's not that they don't want it, but when you're young, you move at a different pace thinking
100%.
about different things.
When you're young, you don't think you're going to crash the car. Don't nobody put their seatbelt on. Just get in the car and you go.
That's right. And
so you start getting older and you start like lose a couple people to car accidents, or you actually get in an accident and then you're like, damn, it makes sense for me to put the seatbelt on. It can happen to me. When you're young, you think it won't happen to me.
How do you manage that knowledge when you're watching young artists come through who look to you, Gucci Mane, as someone as an incredibly positive story of someone who came out the other side and has changed his life?
I feel like you inspire them about just being myself.
Right on.
You just watch me and just be inspired. I don't see how you cannot.
I agree.
And that's it.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
I'm glad we are, man, talking about Evil Genius and life, the life leading up to it.
Yeah.
Tell us something that would surprise people, Gucci Mane. We know that you're a rapper with an incredible catalog of music, probably the largest in the rap game ever. I'd say that's a Guinness Book of Records fact, right? Certainly in the last 20 years.
Say what now? Say what?
I mean, has anyone done a Guinness Book of Records on how many mixtapes and albums anyone's put out in a 13-year run? Would you have the most?
I probably did it.
I think you probably did it.
I know I probably did at least 100.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's crazy. What don't we know? Where's the secret gardening habit? Do you have the world's foremost selection of parrots?
I definitely don't like animals like that, like birds and stuff like that.
Dogs?
I'm too tough. I really don't like dogs and motorcycles and four-wheelers. I don't like nothing that's I can't control. I like four-door cars. I don't like old school cars.
Yeah. You like new school cars?
I like new school cars.
What's your car of choice right now?
Double R truck.
Have you driven the Tesla with the ludicrous mode?
No.
That's the fastest thing I've ever driven in my entire life. 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds.
Wow.
It's like driving a rocket with no engine.
I get the fast car and I go slow. I'm not lying.
I love it.
I be imagine sitting out in the car, I be so fast, I pull out skirt, then I go straight slow.
So you just make the impression?
So everybody be like, boy, you seen what Gucci just did? As soon as I get down there, I go so slow. I promise. People be thinking I just be flexing, then somebody pull up on my just,
He's crazy. Don't ever get in the car with that
As soon
guy.
as I turn the corner, I go so the whole speed limit to the house.
There's Grandpa Gucci around the corner.
Got to be smart, man. Cars are dangerous.
No, I love it. I love it. But I like the fact that you're keeping your optics high.
I'm worth too much money, man, to be crashing a car, falling off a motorcycle, and a bird scratch me, a dog bite me, shark bite me.
I'm not asking you to go swimming with sharks. That's the thing I can't do.
Jumping out the plane. You tell you what I like to do?
What?
Watch TV.
Me too. Which brings me to my next question. What are you watching? What's the box set right now? What's the Netflix?
I just watched Quincy Jones documentary.
What did you think?
It was dope.
Amazing, right?
I just seen a movie called Buster Shrugs.
Oh, yeah.
On Netflix. It's so funny, man.
Buster Shrugs?
It's like a Western, but it's like a bunch of tales, like Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
But it's about like an old Western. It's just so funny, man. And I just watched the whole season of Narcos. I like Power. And I watch a lot of sports.
Oh, yeah? Sport of choice?
Football and basketball.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Gucci Mane is with us right here. We're talking about everything that's kind of moving forward now that we've done a little bit of the past. But there's still a couple of things we have to discuss, and one in particular that is very present right now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to bring this up because we covered it so many times, and it's something that real rap fans obviously want to talk about or want to hear about because, you know, whenever you have a fallout that was as powerful as you and Waka Flocka Flame, it was a huge thing. But he's just come out and said, I'd be willing to sit down, I'd be willing to squash this situation. Have you responded to that, and do you have any interest in doing that?
Well, we spoke. So
after that?
Yeah.
Wow. And how was that? Without going into detail, but how was the general feeling?
We had a great conversation. So we moved past that.
So the door is open.
Yeah, we talked.
I wonder, as you get older and you look back on the things that you have to sacrifice in life, right? Sometimes you have to sacrifice a bit of money.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice opportunity.
Yeah.
But I always think the big sacrifice when we get really old is the sacrifice of the relationships, man. You know, that's the only thing that to some degree really, really matters, right? Is the relationships you build over time.
100%.
You must have like a renewed respect for that as well as you move through your life. You seem to be really open in a collaborative place.
I'm still kind of like, I like to collab. I like to make money. But at the same time, kind of like, I'm good. I'm doing good. Everything I'm really like at the best place in my life right now, honestly.
You know, you made a song called, Make Love to the Money. So like I said before, that's been a thing that's been kind of an ongoing thread throughout your music always.
I was just reading something today about Chuck Berry.
Go ahead.
You know, the old rock and roll dude who everybody stole his music, Elvis and the Beatles and all these different people, you know, and like did these covers to all these songs that he wrote, right? And it was like, I just read this today, honestly, on my phone. And it was like, he was kind of like one of them artists that kind of, messed his career up. He always wanted cash before he do his business. They were like, he would hire like a band in every city he come to that he didn't really know the people. He just, because he figured they'd know his songs. And then, the performance wasn't that good. He just straight wanted the money. But he was like a talented songwriter. But they asked him, he was motivated by money. He was like, he was a hustler. And then he got into rock and roll and pop to make money. He like, never forget the employment. That's what he did it for. 100% me.
You relate to that completely.
Man, I started rapping for money. I was selling dope. All that other shit, I don't care. It's just pluses.
There must be times when you're offered things that don't feel right in your stomach, but the check is good. What happens in that situation?
If you got enough money, you don't just do anything. You got enough money to say, I don't do that. You got to have this, this, and this.
Right.
And give it to me like this, this, and this.
Right.
Then maybe I'll do it.
Are you generous with your money?
Am I generous with it? To myself?
What about to like family and friends and stuff? Does that get tough when you have a lot of money in the bank? People always talk about that.
Life shouldn't get tough when you got a bunch of money in the bank. Why would it? Life should get easier.
Who's your best friend?
My best friend is the CEO of QC, my partner P.
Right.
Like, that's my best partner. You know what I'm saying? But that's my dog. Ain't no buts about that.
Yeah, yeah. And he's the most honest human being outside of your wife in your life. He'll tell you straight up.
That's, I'm going to go to him with something that's real. We like brothers.
And outside of money, what do you think are the guiding principles that you want to live your life by going forward now that you have this opportunity and things are going so well for you?
As long as I got the money and I got my family, what else do I need?
What's left on your bucket list?
Maybe to help a lot of people, help some talented artists like get their career off and, really go platinum or whatever their dream is, or set up their record label.
So what you're suggesting is that, really refocus now that Gucci Mane, you the artist, is succeeding so much, refocus on the idea of a stable. I was going to ask you whether or not you missed the group mentality and the idea of working with a lot of people as a whole.
It's funny that you asked that because sometimes I got artists, and I got talented artists, but it's a difference. Like, it's a difference when you stay in the same city as your artist and y'all just really, like the Brick Factory, everybody damn near stayed there together. So I don't have that dynamic with my artists. And do I miss it? In a way I do and in a way I don't. Because I look back on that time in my life, it was fun. But I didn't have, I wasn't doing what I was doing like how I'm doing now. So if I go back to that, I wouldn't have as much success as I have now. I know I wouldn't.
That's a transition you have to take really thoughtfully and deliberately because the reason you're succeeding on your own terms is you're entirely working to your own terms.
It's really, it's the truth.
But I could see when you said maybe help some artists out because I think deep down looking at the success.
Because that's who I am.
That's exactly who you are.
So
That's
I always try to do it, but it's like I help artists, but they're going to have to carry their own. Like we can march together, but I can't babysit you.
Look at the collaborations you've had throughout your career, man. I want a few words about some of these people, and you can say whatever comes to mind or comes to heart, right? But let's start with someone who I think is occupying a majority of radio and of people's attentions right now. Ty Dolla $ign is just this unstoppable melodic and lyrical force, right? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Your relation, like, what do you love about this guy? Let's get some words on the record about you and Ty.
I think Ty's a dope artist. We done collaborated a lot of times. I feel like he's just a hit maker. He's a dope songwriter, and he just stays making hits. He got the track record to prove it.
His voice is so adaptable to me. Like no matter what record he's on, he sounds like Ty, but he also brings out the other person as well.
Like Nate Dogg.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh my God, that's perfect.
Yep. And they get to compare it to Nate Dogg. That's a legend.
Legend.
Honestly.
What was it like meeting a young Thug?
Young Thug, man, is a star. Honestly, from the first day I met him, I knew he was gonna be a star.
Why?
I don't know, man. I just took a chance. I never had even heard. I told you I don't know if you know that story, but I didn't even know Young Thug, and I just signed him. I never had heard one song on him, but I just felt like he was a star. He came through, like, honestly, somebody spoke highly of him. Pee-wee was like, he was a star. I trusted Pee-wee the long way. I trusted his judgment. And I wanted to sign him. He was like, I'm hard, but he ready. So off of that, then I worked with Thug.
How relieved were you when you first heard the music and you realized that your instincts were right on?
Oh, man. Still amazed. He was amazing then, and he's still amazing.
So, and we throw the word unique around. Everyone's unique, but I mean, there's unique and then there's unique.
It's unique and then a star.
A star, yeah.
He's a star.
Yeah. Same with Future.
100%.
Young Future.
Future's off the dribble star.
Straight away.
Yeah, leader.
And what about him as a young artist? Same hunger?
Yeah, talented, man. Him, Thug, both of them their voice, they gonna make a hit. Ain't no stopping them. They just hit makers. They stars. Like, they do music. They hard at it. They good at it.
I spoke to TM88 today, who's one of the many producers that you've had a great relationship with. Producers love working with you.
He hard.
Dude, he had this to say about you.
It was this one time, it was me, him, and Metro. We was at this old studio, and he called us to the studio one day, and I walked in, Metro was in there, he was like, look, I want to do this joint project with you and Metro. It's going to be like, you produce one of them, and Metro produce the other one. It's going to be like both of y'all kind of friendly beefing with each other. Like, it wasn't like no beef. It was just like my project going to be better than your project with Gucci, whoop de whoop. So he was like, yeah, tweet it out. I want y'all to tweet it out, and it's gonna go crazy. I'm telling you. So it was kind of one of those like moments where I was like, damn, Gucci really like on some mastermind shit. Like he really be thinking about what he want to do.
He's the evil genius.
Yeah, he's really an evil genius.
That's hard.
That's your guy.
Nah, that's my guy, man. He's my little brother. Love him to death.
He said big bruv when he said it was like.
Nah, that's
big
my
bruv.
guy. That's my guy. Like, seriously.
What's one of your favorite in the studio moments ever? Tell us a great story about when you were in the studio with anyone. Could it be Mike Will, Southside, TM88?
I remember one time I had Metro at the studio, right? And when Metro was young, going to Morehouse, he was hungry, man. Like Metro, Metro and Mike Will, both of them when they was young, they was like super hungry producers. Like they was gonna make it, even when it's like they got better and better. I'm not comparing them because they're totally different. They're both stars, but to me, they just so talented. It's like they just got better and worked on it. But one day I had Metro at the studio and he was playing beats for me, and I was like, yeah, I got this song with Southside. Him and Southside like this, Metro and Southside. He was like, you don't be messing with TM88? And I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. We partners. He was like, you supposed to just do all beats with TM88. He's so hard. So I'm like, he hard, but Metro, y'all hard too. But I like TM, but he was just like, you gonna do the tape and don't have TM on it? And when TM came in, TM brought the beat to Trap House 3.
Crazy.
So that was like Metro, like, you better get TM up here. Like, for what you're trying to do right now, you need TM.
Understood and shared that wealth.
Yep.
Is it true you offered Metro a ton of money to come out and do because he was on holiday or was on hiatus or something? I don't know. Someone said something about that.
Don't true.
What, on his front lawn?
Don't true.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
That's a legacy move.
Appreciate it.
You don't write books like that. You don't put a ribbon on your life up to this point unless you realize that you're taking massive steps towards legacy.
And thank you. And my book has got picked up to be turned into a movie.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Huge, man.
Have you been thinking about who you want to play? That's the first thing you do.
I'm really just like,
Come on.
I'm finna have a movie in the theaters. I'm not even 40 years old. I can't get past that.
Incredible. The movie.
Yes. It's finna be big.
Wow,
Be big,
dude.
man.
What is success to you now, man? I mean, apart
Success.
from the money, what do you want to look back on and say, through everything you've been through?
Man, success is, man, helping the most people you can. Can't take it with you, I be talking about money, and all that, because everybody wants to have money. Don't put no cut on it. But it's like the more you got, the more you can help. The more of a blessing you can be. I can't open my studio doors up if I can't pay the studio bill. I can't do nothing for the Migos or Metro or Mike Will or nobody back then if I can't keep myself together.
And what about the community or whatever environment or whatever philanthropic and cause that might spring to mind? Are there things you're passionate about that you'd love to be able to help?
Yes, man. Prison reform.
Mm.
They try to get all these people out of jail that's just locked up, because I was just locked up with so many people that don't deserve to be there. But it's like, what do you do?
Are you in conversations with people to try and weigh in and help?
The most I do, man, is trying to hold down the people, with lawyer fees or giving money to the people that I got incarcerated, and just, being the ear for them when they call.
But it's something you would explore deeper if the opportunity arose?
Yes, 100%. Somebody came to me with a plan like, this is what we can do, because I don't know, and I can't act like I know.
December the 31st, 2017, you tweeted, the main goal of 2018 is to enjoy every day of it. Did you achieve that goal?
Yes, man. It's funny, listen, I'm telling you, when you start 2019, I just did that. I just tweeted that, and then it's like every day I see my Twitter, it made me live like that. I'm serious. But I didn't intend to that. I thought I was going to put that in like a week later, change it or something. But ever since I put that, man, this year been like one of the best years of my life.
So have you set your goal for 2019 yet?
I think I'm to enjoy every day of it. 100%. And hopefully my year will go the same way.
More than one album next year, you think?
Yes. I just tried something this year.
Mm.
It's back to usual next year.